Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of TIS Hitters. It's Monday morning. My name is Kurt, and I'm here with Mr. Rev Nissen. How are you today, Rev?
Yeah, doing good, Kurt. Doing all right. Yourself?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, kind of interesting morning this morning. There's a cyclone that's up north. It's a fair distance away from us, but we're getting a lot of rain at the moment. So it's been actually a nice change, a bit of humid weather with some showers. Kids are on school holidays. They're not too happy at the moment. They're locked inside, but I'm at work, so I don't really care where they are and how much trouble they're causing my wife at the moment.
Well, like I said, if you need to just shoot out, get it all packed up and come over here, mate. You know you're all sorted.
Fly to Melbourne without them as well, right?
No need to fly, mate. You just get in a four-wheel drive and drive. You'll be all right. 2 3 day trip.
Welcome to another episode of TIS Hitters. As always, before we kick off, we always go through the disclaimer. The content that is covered in this video and our channels, our Discord, our Facebook, and our Twitter is not to be considered investment advice. We are not financial advisors, and these are just our opinions, speculations, and theories on what we believe is happening in the market. Now, in saying that, we have been talking about alt season a lot lately, and what's Bitcoin doing and where we're going with the market. And before we jump into the weekly hits, I have been talking in Discord this morning and yesterday. A lot of people are like, where are we going? Where are we at? The market just feels a little bit odd to me at the moment. It's like Bitcoin wants to test 60, 61 and a half the other day. Then it comes back down. It's like Bitcoin wants to break out, but it's also like alts want to go for a run as well. So I don't know, Rev, how do you feel? It feels like still like late 2016 here, like that sort of feel, early 17.
Yeah, very early 17. Just bring up the BTC chart there. It feels, late 16, early 17 sort of mode at the moment, where you had those coins that just move for no reason because everyone's trying to ride the wave, or this one's the next one to moon, and then really at this point in time, I feel like we're at that point before that big final push. And that final push comes with all the ones that really doing something cool. They take off as well. So, the EasyFi, the Unifies, the Venus, all those sort of stuff banned. These sort of tokens that actually have a working process and processes in place, Cake, BNB, these ones will start to really shoot. I mean, BNB is at like 560 right now. It's insane.
BNB is absolutely
We keep
ridiculous.
mentioning it, but it's insane. It's crazy.
I mean, like it was episode 20, so it was like 8 weeks ago, maybe a bit 9 weeks ago, that we talked about that at $45, and I posted it like this morning, like 520, and now it's at 560. The thing is an absolute weapon at the moment.
It's insane. And just to go back on things, I mean, I used to mention that, back in 2016, 2017 on my lives, I used to say, this chart will look like a straight line in the future. Like, it'll look like nothing. And here's a
horizontal, right?
Yeah, and here's a zoomed out Bitcoin to USDT chart here. And this is on a 4-hourly. And it only goes back as far as this November 2019. And you can kind of see, it looks like a horizontal line. A few things in place. This is COVID, the impact of COVID. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we have this major move up. Now, I mean, there's so many people that doubted this thing. But if we look back, this is the daily. This is, believe it or not, the high of 2017.
Crazy.
It's crazy because we used to look at this chart and everyone was like, is it ever going to go back up again? Look how high it used to be. Look where it is now. Hang on.
Well, to most people as well, like that are new into the space, that looks like Mount Everest to some people as well. Yeah. Like it's just like impossible to think that you can get to the top of that again.
100%.
And here we are.
So the thing that I'm trying to while we're looking at BTC really quickly, before we get into TIS, I just want to give people the understanding of having perception and understanding to look at the bigger picture. Don't be looking at the smaller picture, looking at these little 5-minute candles or 15-minute candles of BTC. Right now, with BTC, there's a significant thing happening. It's probably not even there. It's probably here. Very, very significant, right? We get a horizontal line, and we have an ascending triangle formation happening here. If we use the bodies, it's probably a little bit closer. Right there. Now, this thing is waiting. Everyone is waiting for this thing to confirm a daily, maybe a 4-hourly, a 12-hourly candle out. And this is where the longs will kick in. So you have a major demand for it. And the people that are shorting that line right up here, if we do break out, they're going to be closing their shorts here when it retests. So if it does break out and has a major push, well, it's gone. But if it doesn't have a crazy major push and doesn't liquidate a lot of people, and they can close their shorts back at break even, expect a bounce off that line. So that's around, where's that line sitting? About 61,000 USD. So just keep your eyes on that as well. But yeah, just to have a bit more of a perception on the market and where we are. I mean, it's incredible. And you know, I don't I don't like to be a shill or anything like that, but from 2017, I'm sure you remember, Kurt. I was like, this is it, we're done at like 19.5. I'm like, they cannot push this parabola any further.
Well, considering it ran up from like 150,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
150 to 20,000.
And it's like there's no more for this. Like there's no more room in this parabolic move. If you ask me now, Rev, and I know a lot of people ask this question. So many people ask me, Rev, can you tell us if you ever feel that we're done? I still cannot answer you that I feel that this move is done. And we have the $80,000 USD target, obviously, but I'm not biased to that. You know, we put that out there when we were at like, what was it, 7,000? I don't even recall what price
it was the first 2020 is when we dropped that, yeah. And we brought it up a few times since then as well, and it seems to be on track. And when we say 80,000, that's 80,000 with a plus or minus of 10%.
Yep, give or take, yeah. So ranges between 72 to 88. I know there's a big range, but we're talking about big swings here, right? So expect 10% swings here on BTC. So, you know, just going on that, and I don't want to spend too much more time on it. The final target that I had in mind was 3,200, and we just got under that, 3,180 or 3,140 on some exchanges, just underneath that, and then we pushed right back up again. Now, I just did a bit of math. It was just a bit of math on what I say a bit of math. It's quite a bit of math incorporated in it. But, you know, we did the same thing once again. Kurt, you said, Rev, what are you seeing? I said, Kurt, no worries. Give me a day. I'm going to go spend a whole day on this, try and take in as much data as I can. And we came up with the 80,000 USD, give or take 10%, 72 to 88,000. And we had the moves mapped out, like which way and, you know, which sort of moves that we expected. And we almost nailed every single one of them. I'm pretty sure it was very close to actually being on point. Then we've had this big move up, and we're in that final stage of that right now. So when people ask me, are we getting close to that top? Keep an eye on this setting triangle. Keep an eye on that breakout. Keep an eye if it fails off it, and keep an eye on this particular trend. You can even say we'll use a more validated point right there. Just to give you a bit better picture right there. So you have more room to play. You can move this in a little bit and this out a little bit. Sorry guys, it's just a bit quick, but there we go. So just to give you guys more clarification on that. But I don't see a topper yet. Like nothing is indicating to me that we've pushed out this parabola and we're done. Only because of the fact that like we've pushed up, we've come back down, pushed up, come back down, pushed up and come back down. And we're just testing normal traditional technical analysis. Whereas if you look at this, we pushed up, came back down, we tried to break out, push back down, we had a double top, and then we broke out of it. And then it was just like exhaustion, market exhaustion, full parabola. This is on a daily, mind you. And then we had this bearish candle here, and we fell right back out of it. So, and we never really, we tried to push up again, but the market just wasn't there, and there was a major fail. Yeah. So, yeah,
I think right now, I think a lot of people are also thinking, well, what's happening with alts? Because it does, like when you look at some alts are doing 10x, 20x, 30x, some of them more, you know, so it's like, is alt season in its infancy, or is it actually, you know, in full swing? Like it's a very hard thing to put your finger on right now, where back in 2017, it seemed a lot clearer. So when Rev was just mentioning Bex before about late 2016, like early 2017, it was all these little things that people had not heard about that were doing these massive moves. And we are seeing those with certain tokens that are doing 5x, 10x, and people are like, what token's that? What exchange is that on? Like, where is that? Obviously, we've got Uniswap and those sorts of things to take into consideration at the moment as well.
Yep. No, it's definitely a bit more crazier now with Uniswaps, PancakeSwap, and all these things that you need to understand. It's a lot harder for people, the general person or the new person, to come in and take advantage of those opportunities because they just don't understand. Even for some people that have been in the space for a long time, you can just be like, I still don't understand it. Until you try it out and play around with it, you will not get it. So if you're wanting to do it, go for your life and test it with $50 or something and just play with it. I highly recommend PancakeSwap rather than Uniswap, only because of the fees through BNB. Grab some BNB, go play with it. That's not financial advice, only $50, but it's to get your head around the whole processes and what needs to be done. YouTube is out there, utilize it, man. The internet is vast, and there is a lot of things on the internet that you can take on.
It's a wealth of knowledge. Wealth of knowledge.
If you can't work it out, I don't know.
Google is your friend.
But
so yes, let's keep it to this is Bitcoin's doing some exciting things. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. Is alt season here? I've been saying it for like weeks now, and the write up I did was between 3 and 6 weeks.
Huh? We've been saying it for a while, like it's gearing up, and it has geared up.
I know, but it is gearing up. But then we've had small little alt seasons. Everyone's looking for the big one.
Yeah,
we have had some decent little runs. But anyway,
these big movers are definitely coming for sure. And just remember, Bitcoin took off at its all-time high in 2017, but alt kicked in all the way till the January 10th or so. 2018. So. Yeah. The big move is definitely coming for BTC, and then the big move for the big alt is coming. So just keep an eye on it, and make sure you have your right coins that you're looking for, because I know which ones I'm looking to hold, because I truly believe that they can really outperform everything else.
I think we've been pretty vocal about what we're holding. The Cryptofy team has continued to express what we're holding. We call them vault tokens. And they're, we've been very transparent about those. But anyway, let's jump into TIS hitters. We've got a bit to get through. We're already 12 minutes deep. I apologize, but we just wanted to cover some stuff there. So, as we always do, we go over the weekly hits. Last week in episode 36, we talked about Dusk. The entry for Dusk was 702 sats. The current sat value is 610. So it's in a negative 13% change. But from the entry to the high, it did go to 788 sats, so about a 12% move. We did think it was going to do more on the 4 hour with the confirmation, but it just did not get there and it failed.
It didn't confirm, unfortunately. So it did go above, obviously, at 745. It went to 788, and then Bitcoin decided to go for its run. Yep. See you later, sat value. In that 4 hour candle.
As it does, good old Bitcoin. So, as we always do, we go through the starting capital table. You can see here that we have just been compounding them across. So the starting capital for Dusk was 2,800. We take 50%, which is 6.12 of the 12% move, and we compound that on top. We're currently sitting at 495 ROE, 2,971, and 0.0497 BTC. Okay, so today's TIS hit, the first one we're looking at, we're going to cover two today. So last week we talked about Dusk. We still talked about CRV as a watch trade, still looking at that as a watch trade. We're going to go over today's trade, and then we're also going to go over a watch trade as well. So the first one we're going to cover today is audio. The CMC ranking is 183. The current USD price is $2.40, 4,005 sats. Okay, audio has a major breakout push up. It's now down over 50% to test the prior broken resistance to support on the 4 hourly. And it has also confirmed the move downtrend resistance line. 84 BTC and 3 short-term buys on this. Let's run over some TA, Rev.
Oh, I had myself muted then. Yep, let's check it out. So I've just applied my settings. Looking good across the board from a statistical point of view. We got bias change up in the last 24 hours, volume change up in the last 24 hours, and price change up in the last 24 hours. It's a good mix. I like that. I think it's always a positive. Let's go and check out the chart here. So it's already making moves since we looked at it. Probably in this last half an hour. It's actually been a little bit longer, actually, probably about an hour since we looked at it. But yeah, it's already starting to make some sort of move here, and we can see it pushing out there. But what we specifically want to look at is this, not 3 hourly, 4 hourly chart. If we have a look, we had this push out, we had this resistance, we fell under and broke out. Now we've come under more than 50% and retraced back more than 50% of that high on a SAP value perspective. Now if we throw a horizontal line across here, you can see that's on the wick. If we put it on the body, you can see how perfectly that is lining up on that body. So this is what we're specifically looking at. Now, if we have a downtrend resistance channel, we grab this, we want to use the wick. We're not even going to use these bodies here. We're just going to use this body, and we look across that downtrend ascending triangle has broken through, and now we're going in a horizontal pattern. So what we want to pay attention to here now is this bottom line here and this prior resistance on the body right there, which is between 3,631 and 4,777. So this is the range now. Can it push out of this and go back and push maybe even the high last, which is more than 100% ROI? Mind you, if you're going down, you make a 50% loss. But if you double back up, it's 100%, right? So it's a little bit more than 100. Some people struggle to get their heads around that, but that's just how it works. But yeah, so it's in between here that we need to pay attention to. And what I specifically like is this is the 4 hourly. This 4 hourly closes in, another 15, 16 minutes? No, sorry. We've gone back an hour. It closes in another 3 hours and 15 minutes. And so another 3 hours and 15 minutes. If we can get that 4 hourly to close above this MA here, which is the 25 to 30 MA, if we can close above it and move the next candle across, I can almost, say that pretty confidently that we're going to go and push this 4-7 range and see what we can do from there. And, hopefully we close another confirmation candle out and it goes off. We can also see the MACD here is turned bullish and it's getting closer to that zero line after this big push. It's the first time it's been under since that big push. You can see waves, big wave, and then we went under, way under, and now we've picked back up, and now we're looking to push back back to that zero line, and hopefully we get a wave of this again and push a new high from a SAP perspective. So let's just see how it goes. I don't specifically like the tokenomics of this. I think it's 120 million tokens in circulating and 1 billion total. I don't know the distribution and how that works, but yeah. So
sort of goes against our belief system with the suppliers, but we're looking at this from a trade. We're looking at this from a trade perspective.
Yeah, it's not too bad considering. It's not too bad.
Some of the others out there.
Yeah, there's some that's what number is that? I can't. My eyes cannot comprehend. But yeah, so it definitely does look like a good trade here, for sure. Now, Cake is another thing to speak about before we move on. Cake took off.
True. Yeah, it did.
We moved on to what was the trade? Dusk from Cake. And Cake just went, see you later, $22.50 resistance, or $21.25 resistance. See you later to 25.
And punched through to 26, I think it is. Yeah,
something like that.
That's crazy.
Beam on a freaking tear, $1.50 something right now.
It went to $1.75 Beam. Yeah, like it was just like
I love it.
It was Gucci.
So good, so good. And some people may say, well, that's not really that great of a return, but hey, we got in at 40-some cents when you first mentioned it. That's a pretty good return to me. That's a 200% return. I'm happy with it. Even if it took me a year or 6 months, it doesn't matter. Hedge fund companies right out there are doing 5 to 8, 10%, and they're like, woohoo, amazing stuff. Look at us. Look what we're doing. I showed someone the Cryptofy 4 spot bot today at 154% for the last 9 months, which is the data that we have through Stacked Invest. And the guy was like, are you serious? Or are you joking? I'm like, no, this is real data. Like, it's all logged. And he goes, he almost fell over. He was like, if I show that to my hedge fund manager who manages my money, he'll just tell me that it's not real. And I'm like, that's the truth. It is real. and we're more than happy to show it and do it. So 154% on Forcia Spotbot. The long short bot, I don't think there's anybody left on it. And, you know, it hurts to say that, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have nobody on it suffering and moved on to the spot bot and, you know, actually understanding where those gains are coming from. So the Forcia long short one is still a little bit is still down under, but it's still alive. It's still doing something for us, and you know, we just move on. But yeah, 154%. Some people just don't understand that these percentages are crazy and the opportunity in this space.
But in saying that as well, some people are not happy with 154% because they feel like they can go and get that, you know, better returns elsewhere. And I appreciate and I respect that as well. But I also find that, you know, like people are quick to say, oh, I went and done, you know, 500% on this particular one, but people only ever talk about the ones they win in. And we're, you know, we're very transparent here. We log everything, you know, you see our trades that we don't do so well in. You see Forcia long short that we didn't do so well in. So yeah, we're always, you know, showing you guys what we do well in and what we don't do well in. At the end of the day, there's lots that's happening in the market. There's lots that's going to continue happening in the market. And we'll try and do our best to guide you guys and see and show you guys what we're trading. I'm really happy with Beam. I think Beam still has a massive room for growth and it's still got a long way to go. And this is what we're talking about being patient as well and not over trading as well. I see a lot of people, you know, saying, how do I get this? What about this one? What about this one? Sometimes when you over trade, you're actually going to miss profits and you're taking early profits off the table. So just, you know, always consider that as well.
You can see that just in this $500 experiment, that there's missed opportunity if you overtrade. But we want to try and catch a trade for you guys at least one a week. You know, so it's just part of it's part of the fun that we're doing with TIS hitters, and I absolutely love it that we've done this.
Totally, and saying that as well, like, you know, you look at the TIS results that we're doing here. Okay, 490 or 400%, whatever it was, 500%. Some people in the crypto space are like, man, that's not so good. But you show that to the outside world, like people just think you're talking rubbish, you know, like it's just...
Some people literally just go, let me take a seat. Because what did you just say?
I know a lot of corporate people that I bump into here and there. You know, I see people all around the traps and, you know, they're happy if they made 10% a year, you know, like they just think I'm talking absolute shit sometimes when I tell them some of the things that we're doing here. So, yeah, like just some people think that they can, you know, even the leverage trades that you see sometimes with the 200% and the 300%. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those kicking around.
There is definitely. I could show you major 20,000 percenters as an ROI on a futures trade, and I've taken it with $1. But you'll never know that I took it with $1, and I can take every single trade under the sun on 100x leverage with $1 each. Just as an example. And take every single trade there is and probably only spend $150, and then one of them has to do like crazy numbers, and I'll just take a screenshot for you. But you don't know how much money I made. So yeah, just watch out for that. Just be careful. Look, we're not saying everyone does that, but
no, of course not. Of course not. You know, I respect the you know, the leverage trading and that, and there's lots of money to be made in it. And I'm not saying that. I'm just, you know, we just have people that ask us questions and ask advice and those sorts of things.
On a daily, I get the question, but look at this, you can make so much more money on it. And I just go, you don't understand. You really don't understand. And I just don't have the time of day to actually go through with you. But, you know, maybe let's set up a time. This is people that I know in general, like, you know, because we're so busy doing what we're doing, it's like, just, you know, set a time with me and I'll try and explain to you. But right now, I'm not just going to go there because you just think that it's magic money that can make you just crazy numbers, but it just doesn't work that way. So yeah, 150%, 400, 500%. I'm happy with that over a year. Very, very
happy
with it.
Okay, so let's talk about the next trade. This is another watch trade that we're talking about. So Curve was last week, CRV. This week is Seacoin. It has this token's been around for ages as well. This is old 2017 token. Had a big run up in 2017. So SC is the ticker. 84 is the CMC ranking. I can't believe it's 84. I thought it'd be way lower than that. Currently it's 0.26 cents, 35 sats. And we're looking for a trade between that 35, 40 sat range for an entry and looking for consolidation on the daily. 210 Bitcoin trading volume, 2 short-term buys. Remember, this is a watch trade, okay? So if you want to stick that on your notes with CRV, one to keep an eye on. Let's check out some TA.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is definitely a watch trade in that range. And what we're looking for is the consolidation on the daily. So I'll just go straight to it. I won't mess about. We're just keeping an eye on this. We're not really, saying this is a trade right now. But if we grab a horizontal line and we throw it up the top here, it's at 40. We want it in there on the bodies. And then if we throw it down to 35 there. So we want to see it in between this consolidation, this horizontal consolidation here with the triple tops, and then the breakout, and then we've had a retest to that range, right? So because we've had this retest here in this picture, this is the range we want to be picking it up. So anywhere from 35 to 40 as a retest back down, because it can come back down and retest again, which will sort of invalidate it as well. But we can see we went a little bit lower to 34 sats, but 35, 36 sats to 40 would be a beautiful pickup on SIA. And hopefully it can push up back to that week there at 65. And if you're talking from 35 to 40 or 35, you're almost at 100% ROI on your BTC. To 65, I think you're like 85 or something, 82%. So yeah, that's what we're specifically looking at. Now, the reason why we're looking for that retest as well, just so you people, so the community understands why we're looking at this and why we're saying, if you look at the MACD right now, it's currently got its head peak down. We're looking for a move down. Now, we can also use the MACD as well as a support to resistance flip point, right? So you got this horizontal line here where it topped out before. That becomes its resistance because it didn't top out twice on it. It couldn't do it. It kicked out of here, and now we're looking to go back down. So potentially, more likely, you're going to get the 40 sat range here rather than the 35. But if it does get down there and you're patient, which we know we're all not patient in the crypto space, but yeah, that could be a potential. And even if you just split it down the middle, 37, 36 sats or 38 sats, 36 to 38 sats would be a nice entry for sure. But yeah, that's why we're looking at that. And if you look at the weekly as well, similar thing as well. We've broken up. We're on top. We might have a little dip down here, retest on that zero line, and pick back up again. So the zero line sits here, or we retest that the last resistance on the weekly MACD, because you can use MACD as support resistance as well. Flips in that the moving average, convergence, divergence of it. So yeah, that's it for us. So not a trade, just a watch trade. If it gets to that sat range, it can become a potential trade.
Good. That is it for episode 37. Can't believe we're fast approaching 40. The weeks are ticking on. That is it from us today.
Yeah, nothing else.
Let's see what happens over the week. Lots going on here. There's lots of work going on with CryptoStat at the moment. We're doing a bunch of work with some coding on there. Some changes coming. Let's just say that.
Not just some changes. It's the whole new look. It's a whole new look with a whole lot of stuff. But we got a lot of work to do, Kurt. So
we do.
We better wrap it up and get going. You're front running us today instead of me front running you.
Sorry. Take care, everyone.
Guys. Take it easy. Cheers.